Hello, gamers. We're back, gamers. Let me put the camera back on. Ba-bam. Do I look refreshed after eating a frozen burrito and 5 Chips Ahoy soft cookies? Breakfast of champions. I did eat breakfast, don't worry. Wow, I took so long of a break. Let's see. Let me see. Oh yeah, it was like 20-minute break. That we ended up back at the start of the Summer Game Fest, which is perfect because we're gonna recap it. Lots of fun stuff in the Summer Game Fest. I'll say so far, just to summarize, everything's been pretty good today. Pretty exciting, fun stuff. I'll also say, if you are watching, don't forget that we are VGG. Video games are good. And if you want to check out our site, there's the link right there. If you're new here and you haven't followed yet, consider dropping a follow. We'll be doing this all weekend, and we'll be back to streaming at least once a week moving forward. There'll be lots of articles coming out on the site this week. Some reviews that have been long awaited that were delayed because of some physical health issues. Pretty much, mainly. I went from the wrist thing, and then we were on a trip, and then I got sick, and then you know. But we're doing better. We're vibing. Yeah, thanks for everybody who's stopping by here today so far. We got about 35 minutes until the Devolver digital marketing drop. That, again, is going to be, if you've never seen a Devolver digital event, just believe me when I say you're not ready. You genuinely aren't ready. I'm barely ready, and I've seen all of them.
Did you see the teaser?
Yeah, I did, yeah. It's just, they're just always chaos. But in the best way. So yeah, again, consider stopping by the site, even if it's not today or tonight. You know, just bookmark it, check it out from time to time. Y'all know where to follow me on socials and stuff to keep up when I'll let people know when new stuff goes out. But we're all doing this to celebrate video games, and days like this are some of the best of the whole gig. Covering stuff like this is some of my favorite stuff, so I'm excited to share that with y'all and with my good bud FlSHPASTE, who, when we were young, we would just sit and watch these things and do what we're doing now just for fun, for ourselves.
Yeah, to each other.
So exciting to be able to do this with an audience. Alrighty, let's gear up for the recap here. Just make sure I have everything. I'm gonna keep an eye on emails to see where I can provide some extra information. But let's start out. Keighley comes out, talks about how video games are great in this field. We didn't really talk about this. This is like breathing, grassy field is the opening thing with these like monoliths. Very space. I can't think of the movie, Oscar.
I don't know what movie you're talking about.
It has Odyssey in the name.
Hopefully you'll discover a few new games to put on your wish list. And
oh my God.
Every announcement that you desire.
2001 A Space Odyssey. There you go.
There you go. That's the one.
Yeah, so
I know what it is.
Very abstract little set here.
I know what it is. It's because Jeff Keighley single-handedly put E3 out to pasture.
Oh shit, dude. They just went out they went upstate to some farmland. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Like, I got it. Don't worry about it.
Genuinely forgot this event started with Street Fighter gameplay. Again, I was literally like scrambling to start the stream as this all started. You know, you were just
Getting home.
It was hell. Guile was the big reveal. That's right. He is here. I mean,
And old.
I really like the visual style of Street Fighter. I'm not a huge fighting game guy. I will watch people play this at Evo. That's kind of the hottest take I can give you. They just revealed at the State of Play, the PlayStation event, that there's a really fun, like, open world-esque lobby system for the multiplayer where everyone's just running around this big space, and if you want to challenge someone, you like walk up to them and challenge them. They also showcase something online about like pre-fight, like when it shows the two characters like versus, you know, you can push buttons to make them make different facial expressions. So just lots of fun little goofy stuff like that. Street Fighter's always going to be huge, and it's fun to see a new one. You know, it's been a long time.
Yeah,
so.
And for all you Nintendo gamers, it's reminiscent of like the Splatoon lobby where you're just kind of like in your own little world, just kind of seeing everyone and going into your match.
Yeah. It looked interesting. Then next up was the reveal of a brand new game, the first premiere of the event, and this one was a little twisty. So this is I think I do have an email for this. This is Aliens Dark Descent. So it is your traditional Aliens. Okay, so it's even more twisty. Experience. Aliens has had a rocky history when it comes to video games. Most famously, Aliens Colonial Marines from Gearbox was horrendous. And then they kind of found their way with the what was the good one called? Isolation, Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
A horror-based experience, of course, and that was so good. And then more recently, I actually haven't heard too much about it. Aliens Fireteam Bravo, I think, which was like a squad-based shooter. That came out this year, and have you heard anything about it at all?
Not really. At all.
I know it's strange. I feel like there'd be way more discussion about that, considering again the history of this franchise. But yeah. So the twist of this, so this is all a cinematic cutscene, but then at the very end, they kind of briefly show what looks to be gameplay, and I was like, oh, it's XCOM, but it's not even XCOM, Oscar. I'll read the email that I have here. Today, Focus Entertainment and Tindalos Interactive, in collaboration with 20th Century Studios, revealed Aliens Dark Descent, an enthralling single player, so it's not even multiplayer, squad-based action game. So it's a twin stick shooter where you control each individual. You can like order them around, but then I think you'll be able to just switch control over to each member of that squad. It's an original Alien story. It's coming to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, and PC. So it's everything minus Switch right now. Original Alien story where players will lead a squad of Marines in real-time combat against the deadliest creature mankind has ever faced. They say it's inspired by their favorite tactical and CRPG games. So I don't know if many people are familiar with the classic Shadowrun games, which were a similar squad-based, but you were kind of like directing them from the outside. It's just it's not your traditional kind of action-y experience, and it's not really like a twin-stick shooter. Yeah, interesting drop. Interesting decision to not have much of the gameplay in the the reveal, where 95% of it was just cutscenes, which again is pretty familiar. But for something like that, especially with something with such a drastically different gameplay style than people probably were expecting. Could have led with that. Could have been nice. That's coming next year. Let's see. We got another world premiere. Let's see if I can remember what this one is. Callisto Protocol. That's right. So this is a trailer that was already shown last week. This was shown at the State of Play. This is from Crafton, who is most famous for PUBG. PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, the famous battle royale. It was like what, the second big one after DayZ.
Yeah, I think so.
And this was actually it's from former Dead Space developers. At one point, it was supposed to take place in the PUBG universe, which again, there's lore in PUBG. I did not know. It's hyper gory. You're like a prison planet. Things go wrong. If you're familiar with Dead Space, you know it's some creepy, spooky body horror experiences on the way. It does look very good. I'm assuming this is next gen only and PC. Yeah, I really like this. This is the director's cut of the trailer, so I think for the majority of this trailer, it's stuff we've seen before, and at the very end, they have a montage of gore. As Jamie said earlier in the stream, looks like a game I will I will watch someone else play potentially. I don't know. I'm getting braver every day. I'm drawing power from Papa Oscar here, who is usually the horror game god guy. What's your take on Callisto Protocol?
I mean, it looks great. The only thing I was a little bit concerned at watching this trailer, watching it back again, is how many of these are like fluid combat situations and how many of them are like just, you know, canned animations from, you know,
right.
Oh, you're close enough to this thing, press this button to make this cool thing happen.
Right.
Instead of like, you know, having your own like set of combos or whatever is going to be happening in this. But I mean, the death sequences look great like this, which are, you know, always fun to see, especially in like the old Dead Space games. And like, you'd almost want to find new ways to die in the game just because some of the animations are so cool.
You're almost fine with that. It's like, it reminds me of, I feel like the start of that was Resident Evil 4. Like when you got your head chainsawed off and you're like, whoa, I want to see that again. You know, like what the heck?
So that's super fun to see. I mean, the story I'm probably like about. We'll see once I actually dive into it, but I'm excited to see what is this in Unreal Engine 5?
Let me see.
Or is this in their own?
I mean, it could be their own because I know that it's Unreal. Wow, that's Unreal Engine 4. It's not even the new one.
Oh wow. So yeah, I mean, even in UE4, it still looks beautiful. I'm excited. When is this premiere? When is this releasing?
December. So
this year.
Nice Christmas time.
Yeah, very fun for the family during Christmas.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna watch it at least. I might even get brave enough by then to play it myself. We'll see.
I mean, did you play any of the Dead Space games?
I remember we started Dead Space 3 because it was co-op and we started that, but we never finished. I definitely watched you play the first full one. I think both of them.
Yeah, because I think I beat the first one at your place a while ago, and I remember I probably streamed the second one.
Yeah. Good. I mean, really iconic games. It's going to be an interesting year because this year EA is supposed to be releasing the Dead Space 1 remake as well. So kind of interesting to see the people that were behind the game moving on and making something new versus a modern take on the original. So that's gonna be interesting to watch. So they had a nice conversation. The guy was very, very happy. He said, he was just so excited to have to be on stage with Keighley, and he was celebrating Keighley for everything he did in the industry. So that was nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then that's right. They had a full gameplay sequence as well.
Oh, that we kind of missed because of audio issues.
That's right. Oh, this is when I was starting to like pull you in, right?
Yeah, this is like right when we were having other issues.
If obviously super reminiscent, even just in the gameplay of Dead Space. You got the glowy health bar on the back that, again, is really nice because it limits the UI. I think
it's horizontal now instead of
I
vertical.
know, it's not Dead Space. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't catch that. Yeah, he's got like telekinesis.
Oh, it's like stasis in Dead Space.
But this time he could pick them up. I don't think you could pick them up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, you couldn't pick them up, but it's like the same sort of like put them in a
Okay.
stasis.
Okay, Callisto Protocol. So we'll you know, a little teaser or something for you to watch on your own time if you would like. As we need to get through the whole batch of stuff we saw before 3 p.m. Next up was the debut of single-player gameplay for Modern Warfare 2 again. Fuck Activision Blizzard and Bobby Kotick.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Microsoft buying them out will do something, but it does seem like there's a chance that that sale ends up not going through. There's been some controversy there, so we'll see what even happens with that. But all that aside, for the developers that aren't shitty that worked on this, it looks really good.
Yeah, and just as a reminder to everyone that, because not me, but someone probably somewhere, this is not a remake of the original Modern Warfare 2. This is a sequel to the 2019 release of Modern Warfare, which is a whole new thing.
It was like it's a reimagining of the universe in modern day. And
it wasn't me, because I keep up to date.
No, yeah, you would never make that mistake. Yeah, well, like we said, right? The original, the 2019 Modern Warfare, kind of brought us both back into Call of Duty, and there was a time right there in that like into late 2019 into the pandemic too that we were playing online, we were doing all kinds of stuff, and I remember really appreciating the story mode of that Modern Warfare 1. So
yeah, they've kind of nailed down the like, give you this like, I don't know, story where you're like, oh yeah, I'm part of this, kind of deep story as much as you can get into like these, military simulation games. But they kind of nailed that formula down. I don't know if it still works for me. I'm sure I'll still play it and I'll still enjoy it, but I don't know if it's going to have the same pull as it did, 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Yeah, the Call of Duty is the epitome of the roller coaster game.
Yeah.
Where it's, you're just kind of like along for the ride. It's fun and you're looking around and you're like, ooh, wow, it's like a Disneyland ride, where it's just like things happen around you and, sometimes you miss it, sometimes you see it, whatever it is. Yeah, it doesn't work as well as it used to. It seems like they're trying new things all the time to. They highlighted as this gameplay demo goes on, the weather effects are really cool and the cover because they're on a boat or no, they're
water
not
tech.
They're not even on a boat, are they? They're like
it's water tech. I heard that a few times.
Yeah, they're highlighting the water tech. They were highlighting the I think as explosions start to go off, this like oil rig they're on starts to shift. And the cover moves. That was something they really highlighted. The cover moves, which I thought was funny. Yeah, I don't know. Again between the controversies that are going on with Activision Blizzard to the kind of outdated nature of this style of game. I just don't know how excited I am about it. I remember they were trying new things too. It was Black Ops 3, I think, where like it was kind of open world in the single player where you like picked the missions you wanted and you could do them out of order. You could do all kinds of things. So it's kind of a bummer to see them regress back to the roller coaster style. That's just pure linearity. And yeah. I don't know. It's interesting, but especially with the way things are in the world right now and everything else. Like, it's not the most exciting thing to play and get excited about. So, last words for you, Oscar.
On Call of Duty, Warzone 2. What the F's going on with that?
That's the funny. That was the funny thing they revealed recently too. Is that literally, if for all the people that have been investing all their time and money into Warzone, the original, this one's gonna come with a whole new Warzone because they want to make it look better, right? But you can't carry over anything you had from Warzone 1. So it's gonna be, are they both gonna exist at the same time? Like, are there gonna be two different communities? Like, oh, I play Warzone 1, I don't even touch Warzone 2. You know, it's just, this is the first time we're really running into that with a battle royale. Like PUBG, it still exists as PUBG. They never made PUBG 2, you know, and Fortnite is still Fortnite. Like, it's gonna be interesting to see how this experiment goes for them. Inevitably, it'll probably be still a bestseller, but it is just still, it's weird. All right, what was next? This was a long little segment.
Let's have ourselves a gunfight.
Hey, this was a fun little surprise. I know they had remastered this before the first game, but they had Flashback 2, which is a classic, I don't know, hardcore platformer. I don't know what to call it. Reminiscent of the classic Prince of Persia games, where it's a very slow-paced, more methodical platformer where, you know, one wrong step and you're dead.
Heart of Darkness. That's the other one made me think of.
Right? Yeah. That was a really
Let's turn back time. Back in
that one. Yeah, that's
we announced
by like an iconic guy. I can't think of the name right now.
almost 5 years later, I am
But
so
yeah,
excited.
cool to see that come back.
Has put together
Any
an
thoughts on your end other than cool?
dark fantasy, first-person
Yeah, that's about it. It's just cool. I don't know how much of a buy-in it is for me, but you know, I'll still probably check it out.
It's one of those games.
Watch
It's one of those games where you see it and you know someone out there is shitting themselves excited, you know?
yeah, so this was someone's like highlight.
Yeah,
today.
exactly. Like, they're like, oh my god, Flashback is back, you know? The next game here that's already on is Witchfire, which is a really cool, you know, gothic, medieval, but kind of like Western America vibes too, with the revolvers and the shotguns and stuff. I have an email about this as well. In Witchfire, a deadly war rages between powerful witches and the church. In this alternate reality, witches are very real and very dangerous, but so is the witch hunter. Armed by Vatican sorcerers, that's pretty sick. Players wield an ungodly array of guns and forbidden magic as they combat dark terrors on behalf of their shadowy benefactors. Witchfire will be the second release for the astronauts following the BAFTA award-winning title, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. So this is that game. This is a game that, when they initially promoted it, I remember the first trailer, it had a slow, just walking intro as the character kind of walked around, and there was like a monologue playing. And it was like, oh, this is a walking simulator. And then towards the end of the trailer, they pull out a gun. And you're like, wait, what? and so... And it's interesting. It's morphed a little bit. They are confirming that this is a roguelike. So that's why it is coming out in early access. It's been in development for over 5 years. The early access experience will be polished. They promise it will be very polished, and there'll be a ton of content to explore and a solid gameplay loop featuring RPG elements to power up and customize your skills. It does look really sick. It's been Unreal Engine 4. They're really squeezing the last bits of Unreal Engine 4 that they possibly can. And yeah, I don't know. It looks really good. It's got a really great development team behind it, because you brought it up. I think in a different game, but it's got people that worked on Painkiller and Bulletstorm, and like, it's got the pedigree the right kind of pedigree you want for that kind of game.
Yeah.
Next up was this one. You were Fort Solis, was it? I think.
Yeah, this is Troy Baker and Arthur Morgan, Richard something.
Yeah.
Roger
Clark, who did Arthur Morgan and Troy Baker, and it seems like it's actually. So we thought it was like a full on like Dead Space again, right? We thought it was a space horror, but it seems like it's maybe a little more narrative driven, a little more thriller and like psychological, than a more actiony, survival horror type experience. Really performance driven. That's what they talked about after the trailer debuted. They had Troy Baker and Roger Clark come out and talk about it, and they seemed pretty excited about it. They're putting the performers up front and center, which is really exciting and cool. I'm definitely interested. How about you?
Yeah, it's definitely good to see that they're focusing on more narrative and story stuff, because even during just this thing we had space horror, space action, space horror.
Yeah.
And this is it's nice to get a little break and be taken to a world where it's super narrative, super performance driven.
I'm curious to see like how that manifests. Also, I can't believe I didn't know he was Irish. Still blown away by that. Arthur Morgan does not sound Irish at all. No, but yeah, Fort Solis looks really, really cool. I don't know. I'd like that. I guess I'm curious how the narrative stuff plays out. Like, is it Uncharted-esque, where it's like, again, roller coaster ride a little bit, where you're just kind of going through? Is it Telltale-esque, where it's kind of like an adventure game and dialogue-driven, dialogue trees? Like, who knows? New team, new stuff, so it's going to be probably a little bit till we see more, but definitely a great first showing. They chat on stage for a bit. Oh, and this thing. At first, I wasn't sold. So we got routine here. At first, I wasn't sold. It seemed like a lot of first-person horror. But then, you called out that it was called... it's a game called Routine that was... really cool camera gun. I found out it's been in development for a decade.
I remember seeing this game a decade ago. It's like, oh man, I can't wait for that to come out next year. 10 years later, we're like, it's coming out.
So this is where it all shifted for me, where the camera gun thing and then this rope. Oh my Jesus Christ. Like, that is a horrifying design. The little whites of its eyes, and it's got a little teeths, and it's called Routine. And there's not much to say. It's a very short little thing they showed there, but holy shit, right? Like, that's kind of all I could say. Hopefully it's coming out soon, at least 2023 at minimum, please.
Did they give any sort of date?
I don't
think
so.
No nothing.
I was gonna wait to see. Yeah, no, it just cuts away.
Can't wait for Summer Game Fest 2043.
Oh wait, I have an email. I didn't even
from them.
Okay. First announced in 2013, Routine stood out with its haunting premise in an isolated setting. Since then, the small team at Lunar Software has rebuilt the game from the ground up to align with the experience they originally set out to deliver. Like many others, the CEO of Raw Fury, the publisher, says, like many others, I've been waiting for this game for a long time. Originally, I thought I'd just get to experience it as a gamer and a fan, but then the developers decided to team up with us. I'm beyond excited to go on this amazing journey with them. Set in an abandoned moon base designed around an 80s vision of the future, so that's why it kind of looks very like, the tech is very 80s sci-fi, which is really cool. Players will explore the decrepit station looking for answers about the events that unfolded there, armed only with a cosmonaut assistance tool, the camera gun, to interact with the various computer systems. Players must navigate whatever unknown dangers still remain. Minimal UI, an immersive, intense experience as players attempt to run, hide, and defend themselves from threats that may appear. No official launch date has been set, So not even a time frame, which is a bummer, but it's hard, you know.
Games are hard.
Games are hard to make, okay? You know.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's exciting to see more on it. I'm still still cautious now just because it's been developed for 10 years.
You have to imagine they don't come out and re-reveal themselves unless they have a feeling like, okay, we're building towards something.
Yeah, it's just always a gamble at this point when you see a game stuck in development hell for that many years, just because the market's changed, the people have changed, you know, everything has changed, and unless the game has changed with it, it's gonna feel 10 years old.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, and then for like, let's see. Okay, it started at 2:18.
Oh God.
He was talking to us for like 3 minutes straight of nothing.
He just kept saying words.
He was just word vomiting. So there was that, and then there was a Black Adam trailer. We're gonna have to speed through this next batch because Devolver.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Let's see what this was. I think this was. I have no clue. Oh, this is Outriders.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? So it seems like they're releasing something like a full ground up new experience. They were talking about like you can get it with you can get it as an upgrade to the original game, and yeah, it's like a whole new thing. It's a whole new environment, new enemies, new features, single player or co-op. It's adding the World Slayer endgame.
Yeah, so it looks like another like huge expansion, like what Destiny does, you know?
Right?
Like,
Yeah,
they release. Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now, and yeah, it looks like it's just like a building more on the world.
Just almost like a brand new, like take on it. You know, new systems, new engine. That's cool. Good for them. There was a Fall Guys ad, a Switch sizzle reel. There was the Capcom Fighting Collection.
Oh, that's expensive. Sorry, I just looked up the Outriders thing. It's $40, and it's a confirmed an expansion to the main game.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess a lot of people probably got it for free from Xbox, so
yeah,
maybe this is a way to squeeze money out of them. This was a interesting, and now I understand why the cinematic. This felt a little funny. It's because this is not at all what the game plays like, right? It is a RTS. This is from former Blizzard developers, former StarCraft people. So it's, again, understandable that it looks a little different. Or like we were saying, like, the impact of stuff is weird and all that. Like, this is not what the game is. This is not the game's realm at all. It's RTS, so it's all pulled back, eagle eye view. You know, you're controlling tons of units all at once. I said at the time it felt like a StarCraft Ghost trailer, which was that old game that never got made. And so, funny enough, it is from StarCraft developers. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge... I like RTS, but I'm not good at them. And I know you're not much of an RTS guy, so not much to say here, but hey, I like StarCraft. If this is kind of StarCrafty, I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, I'll try it out. I mean, I enjoy like Age of Empires, and I enjoy those types of RTS. But I don't know, StarCraft never hooked me, so maybe this will bring me back.
StarCraft was my favorite. Didn't see what this one was called. It's from Demagogue Studios. It is a climate change game, basically.
Yeah.
Where you're around it's a post-apocalyptic setting, but it's a sunken world. The glaciers must have all melted here, and you can only get around by boat. And it's got a cool aesthetic. It's got a cool style. Curious to see like what the gameplay loop is. Is it just a narrative, linear exploration type thing, or are there some fun and interesting, like, you know, survival crafting type stuff too, where you have to go somewhere and, you know, gather resources and stuff. I guess we'll have to continue our recap after, because it is about time to switch over. We'll have to remember that we cut off there with High Water. That's what it's called, coming in 2022. And we'll start back up with American Arcadia. But in the meantime, are y'all ready? Oh, man, what a day.
That was.
So Keighley brings a lot of flair, right? And it's exciting. It feels the most traditional E3 when he does stuff. But his events, barring some like major surprises and some really cool things, aren't exactly the most exciting thing anymore. Like, talk about how engaged and excited you were during the Summer Game Fest versus all of Day of the Devs and then this Devolver Digital showcase, you know? Like, it's night and day. And that's what I was saying in our article that also has a nice schedule summary of everything that's happening this weekend. We got some family in jokes happening in the chat right now. The indies are what I say in there is that, you know, things are changing and the indies are like the most exciting of these events every time. And already today, day one, it's kind of true. I don't know if you feel the same, but it's kind of true. Yeah, that was great. We'll get back to it. We're gonna just continue our wrap up. If you want to leave, you can totally leave, Fish. You don't have to stick around for the whole wrap up.
Bro, I was here wrap up.
Okay. You're okay.
Bro, I'm grippy sipping my water right now.
No, yeah, for sure, Rinks. And that's why I really like I really like I really like Keighley's stuff, and I'm like, super excited for the Xbox Bethesda showcase, which is really the last remaining pillar of traditional E3 stuff is the Xbox showcase. PlayStation left a long time ago. Nintendo barely does stuff around this time of year. Like, that is the last bastion of traditional E3, and I'm excited for that. I hope there's a Nintendo Direct. You know, I had a friend. I don't know if he's still watching, and it doesn't seem like he's here. Freya was asking about, you know, oh, so like, do you think there's rumors that there's going to be a oh, that's true. There was no Monkey Island. Devolver's doing Monkey Island. Fuck.
Canceled it.
I totally lost what I was saying, but essentially Microsoft is the last pillar of traditional E3, and I'm excited for that too. But yeah, E3 is run by indies now, I feel like, and I'm happy that a lot of people are realizing that's the cool shit, you know. But anyways, as we get back into the Summer Game Fest, oh, there it is.
Stop! Get him off the screen.
There he is.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I can get a frame of it. Hold on. There was one key thing.
Zoa Energy.
There was one key thing he really wanted to make sure everyone saw in his speech. It's not showing up, dude.
Good.
Zoa Energy. Oh, I'm not getting the, like, you know, when you like scroll through, normally it'll give you like a little image. I'm not getting that. So it's gonna be harder to skip through this now. There was a Fall Guys ad, the StarCraft-esque game. That was the other thing I did not love. About I was getting it when it was still a live stream though. That's the thing that was weird, Rinks. The other thing I didn't love about this StarCraft game, you know, or it's not StarCraft, but it's from the StarCraft developers, blah blah blah. Was that they say at the end of the trailer, they say, sign up for the beta in 2023. So, you know, it's like we're not even gonna get to play this, like, even in beta until next year. And so it seems like a bit early to announce in a way. So yeah. I'm still curious, but seems a bit early. This was High Water. the post-apocalyptic climate change and pollution and litter game. And then, there was an update on Replaced, which had previously been revealed at a Summer Games Fest. And if you haven't seen that game, it actually looks really beautiful. It's got this really beautiful pixel art style that's like, it's hard to describe. It's just so good. But the developer is based in the Ukraine, and so it's actually been a very hard time for them to create. And so they were hoping to get a trailer together for this year, but they couldn't because of that. And our heart goes out to that team. Hopefully the situation in Ukraine stops and things can get better, because all those folks deserve to just live their normal lives and make games and make art and do whatever they want to do with their lives.
Give me 1 second. I gotta go.
Okay. We'll have our next game up here in just a bit. How's everybody doing? How's everybody? Again, like I said earlier, a blending of some worlds that I've stumbled into today or recently, and I'm excited to have everybody here watching with us. I hope everyone's doing well. As I mentioned earlier, I've kind of been. That's where I forgot to post. I forgot to post on Instagram. Kind of been a hectic day for me. I before stream had just done well, there you go. Got a whole weekend full. But before stream, I had just finished a interview for an exciting opportunity that fingers crossed for me, Chad. Thank you. And then I was calling Fern to talk about the interview and what happened. And as I was wrapping up that phone conversation, I looked down at the screen and saw that the Summer Game Fest was going to start in 1 minute. So I said, hey, I gotta go. The stream was live already. I had set the stream to be live, and it was just showing the countdown screen. And I said, hey, I gotta go stream now. And sat down, immediately started streaming. Haven't streamed in quite a while, so I was kind of relearning everything on the fly, so that was fun. And I love my niece. And what's it called? Yeah, we went right straight into the show, and then the show was a little constant chaos, as Fish can attest, as it was just like trailer after trailer. And we're just sitting there like, oh god, give us a moment. Like, I didn't even have time to properly like introduce the stream and say hi to everybody. And it was just there was just so much happening. And then all led to here, and that was starting about 5 hours ago. So yeah, wild time. Sorry, I'm just getting some more emails now. Yeah, you really got to trust the people around you is what I want to let everyone know. Next game was American Arcadia. I got to turn it back down. And this is kind of Truman Show-esque. In this game, you play a character who lives in a society and world. It looks like it might be just like one city. Yeah, it is a full city that is being constantly broadcasted around the world. There's cameras everywhere, and everything that's happening in the city is being broadcast around the world 24 hours a day. And it looks like the game itself is reminiscent of Inside and that kind of more cinematic platformer, reminiscent of Little Nightmares, and it's you trying to escape from this society. So I figure it's going to be a lot of really interesting cinematic camera angles and stuff where you're not even actually, it's going to be the cameras that are broadcasting at all times capturing you. I'm curious, this ending of the trailer shows like a first person perspective of someone behind at a computer screen, and I'm curious to see if this has any connection to or similar style to Operation Tango, which was a co-op game where two players were seeing like wildly different screens. One was like a hacker, one was on the boots on the ground type person. I don't think it is. I don't think it's from the same developers or anything like that, but really interesting aesthetic and potentially gameplay styles. I just looked it up. This is actually the developers of Call of the Sea, which I streamed on this channel, which was the kind of, what is that movie? Guillermo del Toro, Sea Monster, Sea something too, I think. I can't. Do you have any clue, Fish?
On what, sorry?
The Guillermo del Toro Sea Monster love movie.
Oh, well,
God damn it. I can't think of it, but they made the game that was similar.
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. They made the game that was similar to that. And so I'm looking down here at the bottom of the screen here too. There, it looks like they have Yuri Lowenthal as a voice, Sissy Jones, who was the main voice of that game. Yeah, lots of really interesting people. It says based on a book. Is that actually real? The day that running started. Okay, doesn't seem like it's a real book. I looked it up. Anyways, yeah, just looks interesting. I'd love to see more. It's a great ambiance atmosphere seller. But the gameplay, you almost don't even know how much of that was gameplay that you even saw. So it's interesting. Would you have any thoughts on your end?
It looks like a grand old time. I know someone said it earlier. It's like the Truman Show-esque, which is exciting just in its own right. Just the gameplay looked, it's more of what we've seen before, but it's an exciting new twist on it. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if I'm curious to see how much of that's, again, that first person perspective comes in, and if there's much that you can do there. Yeah, I'm surprised at the lag. I usually don't have that much lag. Refresh, everybody, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, exciting. Okay, next game. That's how we do the wrap up. All right. So this may look familiar. They said don't get bit. And this trailer, it feels very reminiscent of Dead Island 2's trailer, a game that was announced a long time ago, but no one ever heard anything about. So this is almost like a shot-for-shot recreation of the Dead Island 2 trailer. But as you watch, you'll see that something drastically shifts. I knew immediately it wasn't because the fidelity. I almost want to... There you go. The fidelity of the trailer was different from what I remember of the Dead Island 2 thing. So I was like, if it has it changed that much? I was shocked. But no, it's a little fake out, and it's actually a new Goat Simulator game. And you might be saying, wow, Goat Simulator. I remember there was Goat Simulator 1, and then there were a bunch of expansion packs for that game. And that was super interesting. They tried like a bunch of different styles of game with all their expansions. So cool to see Goat Simulator 2 come out. I'm excited. I can't wait to check this out. Joke's on you, buddy. This is Goat Simulator 3. Who needs number 2, baby? A really fun, goofy trailer. Totally matches the vibes of the game itself. That development studio. As we were saying when we watched it, Goat Simulator kicked off an entire genre of game, really, which was just chaos, goofiness, and so it's sorry, my brain. It also just kicked off a bunch of simulator games, which there was like Fish Simulator, there was Bread's, I Am Bread. It kind of just kicked off a whole genre of just silly games. And I'm curious to see what Goat Simulator again. If it's we're skipping to 3, it's there's gonna be some interesting stuff in there. So, Fish, your take.
It's a Goat Simulator game.
Exactly. It's very you like.
I mean, it'll be fun, especially with the multiplayer that they added for Goat Simulator 3 player Goat Simulator, which is fun. I just never lasted long. I mean, it's good for like a quick laugh, like haha, like what the funny goats doing, jetting around and causing havoc, and it's all right.
That's the wildest thing about those games, though, is there's actually so much going on. Like, there's like, I remember the first one, just like you wander into the woods and you end up getting this like, you end up getting some like wild, satanic goat thing, and then it changes genres. It's a pretty wild franchise, and curious to see what they do with Goat Simulator 3. Then they had Marvel Midnight Suns, which is again the XCOM Marvel, but a game with like Mass Effect-esque relationship building in between. The character that you like is the catalyst of the story is one that you create. So you're an original character. You're the daughter or the child of a demon lord that has come back, and so the only way to defeat them is to get you back to life and get you involved in this situation. This trailer's main reveals were some of the new characters and villains. So Venom succumbs to the dark side and becomes a basically tiefling Venom man. Hulk also is revealed to have been put under her control. Spider-Man is here. Of course, Spider-Man was going to be in this game. Like, I think that's the least surprising thing in the world, considering this was supposed to be a game that focused on the more mythical, monster hunting Marvel characters, and yet they still have Captain America and Tony Stark because, of course, they're going to sell copies. Wolverine's in there, and it's not like they don't interact with this part of the world, but everyone else, like, they have Magic with a K, and they have Nico Minoru, who is a magician, and like it's just like all these characters that like fit in perfectly with the aesthetic and the tone, and then they have Captain America and Iron Man. And
so is that Scarlet Witch?
No. That I think that is a character known as like Ebony Maw or something.
The one on the right, one that has the same headpiece.
Yeah, let me look up the character because it's one of the ones from Avengers Endgame. Proxima Midnight. She has like horns like that. That's why I'm pretty sure that's her. I'll go back. Yeah, I think that's Proxima Midnight. No, but yeah, I'm. You may not. Okay, so she's in the game as. Let me see. Yeah, that's Scarlet Witch right here. Next to Ghost Rider. She's on the good side. But yeah, no, you really could have sold me on this just saying Marvel XCOM. Like that was enough for me, and the tone and the aesthetic is just keep selling it. And again, the idea of not only it being this tactical turn-based game, but also being a more narrative-driven experience where you interact with the heroes in between missions and create bonds with them, and based on how much you power up those bonds, like you have different abilities in combat and stuff, and it's just so cool. I will say, now that I'm looking at it a little closer and it's in freeze frame, Spider-Man's fit, that's not it. It looks like a fucking disco ball. Excuse me? Look at this.
I like his eyes though. Is it the 4 eyes in there?
Yeah, the eyes are cool, but what is this?
He's a disco ball.
But yeah, I do like that each of their suits are like. That's what I'm saying. I like that each of their suits are like imbued with runes, which is really cool. Even on Spidey here down the side, because they're fighting little monsties. I thought he looks like a fly. Yeah, that's true. Even with the eyes and the disco ball, he do be looking more like a fly. He fly man.
I also kind of don't like the mouthpiece. You see, like the like Sub-Zero Scorpion type mouthpiece.
Yeah. This was a cute little sequence at the end. He goes like, "All right, I'm gonna get you, Venom," and he like knocks this bell because he's attracted to sound and stuff, and it doesn't work. And then he flies in. I hope these are like little cinematic cutscenes before like combat scenarios or something. That'd be pretty cool. This is a game I'm deeply in for, and I can't wait. It's coming in October, so that's cool.
I honestly wish now, based on what you said, I wish that the trailer was just a black screen that just said Marvel XCOM, and then I just wanted to see your reaction to that. I missed all of this.
Did it for the story. Thank you for the follow. Deeply appreciated. Internet celebrity following me. That's pretty exciting. Oh yeah, you missed this, right?
Yeah.
And the sub.
We saw the trailer. Oh.
Thank you so much, Did it for the story. Too kind. You now have access to all my beautiful emotes. A decent amount. Oh my.
Oh
geez.
My goodness.
Did it for the story, brother. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I appreciate it. It's my first stream in a long time, and you just made it real exciting. So thank you so much. As I was saying, you do get access to amazing emotes designed both by Rinks and Jayreen here in chat. Thank you again. That's amazing. The 10 gifted your own sub. You didn't have to, but you did anyway. We love you for it. Yeah, show him some love in the chat. A god of a man. I will make sure to link some stuff of yours now that you've done this to me. Did it for the story is a amazing artist who did some stuff during the MLB lockout that was pretty exciting and fun. So shout out to Did It for the Story, and thank you for that. Anyways, Cuphead. I want to Did It for the Story. I will do it. Yeah, so Cuphead to the delicious last course. The final piece of DLC for the game. Gonna be in a land with I think there's like 6 different bosses and some new levels and stuff. Sorry, I'm still reeling. Fish, you take over first. Just say things about Cuphead.
Hard boss platformer. New delicious last course. It's called the DLC. It's gonna be good. New bosses, new enemies, new levels. It's gonna be fine.
They have the new character too, the 3rd character they added. Then so it's coming June 30th. I don't know. I like Cuphead, but like they've been talking about this like for forever, and I don't think it's a ton of content. It is a whole new world. So it's just
DLC Island.
It's just so interesting, like how much they've been pushing this. I don't know. It's just not hooking me like the way that original just pure Cuphead did. So I don't know. Oh, yeah. Thank you again. Did it for the story. Didn't expect this, did I? I appreciate it. Oh, this just before we started our recap again, I was talking about how this has just been Chaos Day, and this feels like a fitting capper on Chaos Day. So Cuphead, as we said, cool.
I'm sure it'll do fine.
Neon White, I believe this was next up. This is from the creator of Donut County, which again is so funny to me. It's a very different game. Let me just confirm that that's it. Yep, the Donut County developer Ben Esposito made this game, which is a pure adrenaline speed running parkour experience with card game mechanics, where the moves that you have access to and weapons you have access to are acquired via cards. There's visual novel dating sim stuff going on. It's just a lot, but it looks so stylish. It looks so good. I can't wait for this game, and it's coming so soon, June 16th.
Next week.
What's your one sentence take?
Looks freaky.
A sentence is more than 2 words.
I'm sorry. The game looks freaky.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
No. I mean, it looks fantastic. I love deck building games, and first person games, speedrunning game. It ticks all the boxes for a match made in heaven, especially with the art is amazing too. So I'm sure it'll do great, and I'll probably pick it up next week.
I have a review copy request in, so we'll see. There's a lot of games just coming out in a week. It's blowing my mind. And then we have Midnight Fight Express, which is a one-man team. This was revealed a while ago, and since then they've expanded their team quite a bit to get to the finish line, and I think it is supposed to come out this year. It's a really cool looking game. It looks like we brought up Hotline Miami as a comparison. We brought up honestly, when I was watching this, it was giving me vibes of Sifu as well, which is a new game that just came out, and review on the site. Again, for all the new people that are here, if you haven't stopped by, Video Games Are Good. That is the heart of this entire operation. If you like video games, we're here to talk about video games, to chill about video games. There's a Discord. Oh yeah, I guess everyone wants to join the Discord. There's the link for the Discord. You can hop on in and talk video games with us there. Yeah, good times. Yeah, this looks. It seems super chaotic fun, where anything is a weapon kind of experience, where you can see all the things glowing on the ground. A lot of environmental stuff going on where you're smashing heads in the sinks and stuff. A lot of chaos, as when we were watching, Oscar said, "Why is the Joker in the background?" In a previous trailer, they showed a sequence with these nuns with rocket launchers. It's just pure chaos, and again, one-man team, really. We're in the recap now, Fern. Everything is done for the day. What's your perspective?
This looks like a blast. The art is great. It's amazing that it's even done by just a one man. So I just want to support the game even just for that by itself. It reminds me of the Hong Kong Massacre. Reminds me a little bit of Hotline Miami.
That's right. Ruiner.
Ruiner. All those games. I mean, those are all fantastic games. I'm sure it's going to be just as good, if not better.
What I think is super interesting about it is that it's not just one style of gameplay. It seems like, you got the beat 'em up stuff, but then you got shooter stuff, and then in this sequence right after this, the car sequence, that's drastically different. Jet ski sequence, there's a lot going on in this game. So I'm excited to see that when it finally comes together and comes out. It's been a long time coming. So yeah, excited about that. All right, there's Smiling Keighley. We love Smiling Keighley. Warframe has a new skin. I'm sorry, this is all we're gonna talk about it. It was a Twitch drop.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a Twitch drop. And there is a new expansion coming that they're gonna be showing more of at TennoCon. So there you go. That's your highlight, is go watch TennoCon if you're really a big Warframe fan. We did talk about, it is a game that I kind of want to hop into because I feel like it is so drastically different from what it was when I first played it, when it launched on PS4. So
yeah,
curious to see what that is. I know. I'm sorry, Rinks. I will.
Yeah. Hey, where's my invite?
I know. We'll all hop in. Well, hey, yeah, let's chill. Here was actually, I think this was a big surprise. I didn't even know. Maybe I'm just so out of the loop because I don't play Genshin. I didn't even know they had other things in the works at all. And so they revealed 2 or 3 new games here. starting with Honkai Star Rail, which is a open world space RPG from the Genshin developers. This looks sick. The Genshin visual style is already still good. I know. I don't even know. I don't know if when they say open world RPG, does that also still include, like, is it free to play? Is it online like Genshin? Or is this a single player, you know, narrative experience where you can just sit and play the whole game by yourself, you know, don't have to buy anything? Who knows? No, yeah. Genshin is pure gacha.
Yeah.
But I'm curious.
I still think it's gonna be just another.
I'm sure
it's gonna be a gacha game.
I'm sorry. I mean, even look at this sequence. I think this kind of confirms it because I think this is how characters are like
born.
Yeah, and revealed. You know,
summoned. Yeah.
But then after that, they showed us another game.
This is the one I'm excited for.
Yeah, this is more interesting to me. It's Zenless Zone Zero. It's a fast-paced action game. So it's not an open world RPG. Still could have gacha mechanics, but this feels different. This feels like a single-player thing almost too. Really stylish, very Atlas style, Persona style. It's like Atlas meets Guilty Gear style with characters and just the tone and vibes. I'm curious. I'm super curious because yeah, it's more of an actiony arena based type thing. And so when they first said that, I thought it was like multiplayer, right? But then this trailer looks pretty single player, you know. I'm trying to 11 weapons. Is that what it said? I remember we were trying to read all that as it was happening too.
Yeah.
Jiggle physics, of course.
There it is, right there.
Is that a bear? Oh my god, I didn't realize that's just a brown bear. Okay, so it is there is multiplayer, but it's like co-op. It's not competitive. What's a wolf man? Okay. The internet is already thirsting for him. Yeah, that looks really snazzy. Fish, what's your take?
It looks exciting. The art and the gameplay looks very new and refreshing. So
I'm curious. Go ahead.
No, I mean that's pretty much it. It looks exciting, to say the least, and can't wait to play it. If Genshin, the devs of Genshin put as much detail and as much thought into this as they do to like Genshin, it's gonna be great.
I'm curious if this is the menu. Because there's like rest area, welcome to shop, kangaroo net, quiz time, coin. Like this looks like it could be like the menu, which is cool. Again, anything that has like that's why I was kind of calling out Atlas and Persona, is that kind of stuff. It looks really good. Yep. Next, rolling right into it again. I can't even finish my recap while Keighley continues on to the next thing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. They reveal a new character. It's Casey Jones, the classic hockey mask and hockey stick wearing guy, has entered the fray. This is from Tribute Games, the creators of the Scott Pilgrim game, creators of Mercenary Kings, creators of just so many great retro style games, but just like with so much, like just look at the density and the beauty of this pixel art. It's retro, but it's so good. It's so modern. It's beautiful. So Casey Jones was the big reveal in this, but on top of that, they revealed there is 6-player co-op in this version, which is like a arcade exclusive. I feel like back in the day, I remember there were some arcade units that had the 6 sticks and buttons all across it. It was a big wide station. So this is super exciting. Online, I think they confirmed local and online can do it, and coming to Game Pass. So easy to buy in and check this out with your friends if you want. Cannot wait for this. Got the review code request in immediately. I can't get over it. Another fun thing I noted is that in the some of the original Nintendo games, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Nintendo games, when you bought them in the box, there was a voucher for free pizza. If you buy the physical edition of this game in the box, there's a voucher for free pizza. That's just so cool. What's your take on the Turtles coming back in full force?
I mean, they're carrying the genre on their back right now, and just the announcement today about the 6-player excitement was gonna be fun. As I said before when we were watching it, it's like it's bold of them to assume I have 5 friends to play this all at once.
We have 5 friends.
No, it's gonna be fun.
Again, and with Game Pass, I think that's such a huge thing, right? That's the other thing. It's like, okay, do I have 5 friends? Do I have 5 friends I can convince to, hop in and play this with me? Yeah. And you don't even have to worry about that because Game Pass makes it easy to buy in and play that. So super excited for that.
The biggest issue now is deciding who's going to be Raphael, who's going to be Casey Jones.
At Summer Game Fest, they then had a little ad break where it's some games that, we've already known about. So there's Super People, Humankind, and then there was and you said this part was weird, right? I want to see this, but wait, there's more.
Me and chat were this is weird.
Rewrite history. It was just a console reveal. So so I think the reason that's probably even, and that's a hard cut there. This is an old commercial trailer thing they did for it. That was actually a cool trailer if you watch it on its own. But yeah, out of the loop here, it's just kind of weird.
How far will you push, human?
Let's see. And then right into One Piece JRPG. This is, I think, the way I'm going to get into One Piece. Because I think this is an entirely original story. So it's separate from the 1,000 episodes and 15,000 volumes of the manga. And it's an RPG. And I'm a sucker for an RPG. And I don't know. It looks great. I honestly kind of can't wait for this.
Yeah. I mean, One Piece has always been an interesting story. It's definitely exciting to see, it turned into something like this, because the style of game that this is shaping up to be is exactly what you would want from this type of anime or this type of manga.
Yeah, a lot of the games that have come out since, there was one open world one that's actually on Game Pass that I was curious to try out, where you're on a prison island or something. So I'm curious to see what that's about. But a full RPG experience is way more up my alley. Yeah, this looks sick. The graphics look sick. It being an original story is awesome. Look at all these puzzles and dungeons and temples and stuff. I'm in. One Piece Odyssey. Did they have a release date? Let's see. I don't think. 20. It's coming this year. Yeah, it's an entirely original story as far as I know. That looks sick. Was that the... did you want to add more to that, or did you get your...
No, that was it.
Your take. I think this is what? Soul Crashers? Soul something.
Soul Hackers.
Soul Hackers 2.
Soul Hackers 2, yeah.
And every once in a while, I'm definitely familiar with the name, but every once in a while, man, something comes out where they're like, here's the trailer for the sequel, and you're like, the sequel?
Gold Simulator 3?
What's the other game? Atlas has such a wide library of games, though. I know Jammy was super interested in this one. I mean, the style looks really interesting. I don't have much more to say beyond that. Oh, it's coming to PC. That's nice. A lot of JRPGs don't come to PC anymore, so that's nice.
It's a JRPG. It's my hot take.
What was this one? Oh, this was just like a Game Pass ad. Bring it to the freaking Steam Deck and I'll be happy. Mario Strikers ad. Kind of that way that they opened with that is kind of reminiscent of the Smash Bros. Famous Smash Bros. Ad they used to have, where it's just kind of calm and then it turns into chaos. Metal Hellsinger. Another rhythm-based shooter. Actually, Rinks, I don't know if you can remember. I remember Cody streamed. There was like a rock rhythm shooter that Cody played, and he streamed it. I just can't remember the name of it. But this is like the AAA version. While that one's more indie, this is still indie, but you could tell it's got a different amount of money put behind it, or different level of team behind it. Troy Baker does the voice of the main character. They have like, as this trailer showed, they have like actual like famous singers, including like Serge Tankian from System of a Down and a lot of other bands that I'm not familiar with. Bullets per minute. You're right, Rinks. That's what it was called. Bullets per minute, BPM. So this and the other difference I feel like is Bullets per minute was kind of like a roguelite, room by room, again, Binding of Isaac type experience. While this seems to be like progressing through levels and telling like a narrative story here, in the same way of like a Doom-esque kind of experience.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But it's like Doom meets Painkiller meets like a rhythm game. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's I remember there was one E3 like 2 years ago where they literally showed this game like at 3 different events and people got sick of it. It took a long enough time away that I'm actually super intrigued by its return. Okay, let's keep going. The Quarry comes out soon, right?
Tomorrow?
I really want to play it. It's gotten some good It's gotten interesting reviews. But again, if you're familiar with Until Dawn, this is the spiritual successor to Until Dawn. It's a group of friends go to a summer camp or go to camp in the woods, and shit goes down. And you're trying to, through your decisions and through your reactions, people will survive or die, and it's up to you to, yeah, I'm killing the bot. Hold on. There you go. Fish is on it. It's all about performances. They got a lot of famous people in it. Brenda Song, Justice Smith, a lot of other familiar faces in here as well. A lot of people, a lot of character actors. Yeah, I feel like I only first heard about this like a month ago, and now it's coming out. You know, like I don't know where this came from, because last I saw they were still doing not Man of Medan, but the Dark Pictures Anthology, I believe it's called.
Yeah, that's the series.
And it feels like they said, okay, we kind of messed up. This is not what people want. They want Until Dawn again, and so they're just doing Until Dawn again. I don't know how they fit this in, like, into their production cycle, and now it's coming out. Like, it blows my mind that this is just here now, but yeah, I'm excited. What's your take?
If it's anything like Until Dawn and not like the Dark Pictures Anthology, I'm gonna be all in for it. The story looks fun.
We had fun when we played. You came to our neck of the woods once, and we played through one of the episodes of that. The first one. It was like a boat thing, and it was not Until Dawn, but it was still fun and interesting.
Yeah, I mean those games are a fun play, but you can obviously tell they're like a little janky.
Yeah.
but like Until Dawn, like honestly, like set a standard for me for like those types of like choose your own adventure, you know, your choices matter, whatever type of games, and the Dark Pictures definitely don't live up to that bar. That's why I hope the Quarry is, because the Quarry is basically seems like an Until Dawn successor, or you know, spiritual successor, or whatever you want to call it, in the same vein of it. So I'm excited for the Core. I can't wait to see you play it or play it myself or see someone play it, just because I feel like it's going to be a fun time, like a little slasher flick.
Yeah, I don't even, did I stream Until Dawn? I remember playing it, and I kind of vaguely remember streaming it, but I don't know.
I know I watched you play it like IRL.
Well, I was here in Oregon already, so
You?
I must have streamed it. Because I remember it had all those like systems where like you couldn't move and stuff, and Fern's saying I did stream it. I don't even remember that. Anyways, well, it's only fitting then that maybe I streamed the Quarry. Got a lot of stuff going on this week. I don't know if it's gonna happen this week, but sometime soon. Fern, you might have missed this. This is exciting. Oh, I don't know if maybe you're just reading the captions.
You're alone in
The next game up was The Nightingale, which is the open world survival crafting game where you're jumping through different realms, and to be able to get to different realms, you have to craft cards out of the resources you find in the world that open the portal into a new realm, and you can even alter different aspects of it through other cards, like the weather, the types of monsters you might run into. So it seems like I kind of compared it to, it's like a No Man's Sky meets the traditional open world survival crafting game, in the same way that in No Man's Sky you drop into new systems and drop into new planets and get resources off those planets and then move on. Seems like a similar thing here. But they did seem to sell the idea of like really settling into one of the, you know, a realm and having like a gigantic base. So maybe there's like a hub realm, and then you can travel out to these other realms to get, you know, special resources and come back to your like main realm or something like that. I don't know. I'm not, you know, it's not here yet. I don't get to play it yet, so I don't know.
You don't know.
But
I mean, I get the same impression, almost like a Valheim, where like you go to all these distant lands and stuff, but you end up coming back to your main base, which I guess makes sense. Or it could be like you build a big base in each realm, just so like, oh crap, I need to go, you know, to the forest to go scavenge for the specific item for, you know, what I'm doing in the desert, and just like having these communities or the, you know, these bases or camps in every single realm, as like a spawn point, or like a, you know, a hub.
Yeah, it looks super sick. I can't wait.
Yeah.
The developers are ex BioWare, so they have some, you know, they got a good pedigree on their side. So it's you know, very ambitious, but it doesn't feel like, you know, impossible for them to pull off as an independent team, you know, considering their background. You have any other takes you want to add on to that?
Give it to me now, please. Please.
When they first revealed it and there was barely any gameplay, I was ready, and now this one was really exciting. And like I said, the idea of like crafting the cards and like, you know, kind of creating what you want to walk into next is pretty cool. Pretty cool. All right. We still got an hour 25 of this event to get through. Jesus. Saints Row character creator is live now. You can download this and make your person. The rest of the trailer is just pretty much for the game itself, but the character creator is out. There's a big social hub. I actually have an email about it, but you know, not much else to say about it other than there is a social hub where you can share your characters now. So there's already probably lots of fun characters you could see on there. They show how you can really do your best to recreate yourself. It's not bad. It's not a bad likeness. In game, it'll be something fun to mess around with. But it was a weird long trailer for what is essentially a character creator demo coming out. What's your? I know you're excited about the game on its own.
Yeah, I mean, Saints Row games have always been a blast, even if they're not that great. Um, but yeah, I don't know if this was specifically needed in ahead of the game. Like, oh, look at this, we have a character, in-depth character creator.
Yeah.
Like, it's been done before. We've seen it for a bunch of other games, but I don't know if this specific franchise needed this.
And like a giant chunk of like that was a
Yeah.
pretty long trailer, and it was like, oh, I really want to play that. Oh, there's something I could do right. Oh, I can just.
But yeah,
can
and the
just
thing
make
is,
a character.
we've had a customization trailer. Like, one of them was like, you can customize everything from your character to your guns to your
Right,
cars to
yeah.
whatever. So like, I don't know if we needed like a, hey guys, no, really, you can customize things. Like, all right, and we get it.
I heard you the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Strange little trailer. Like it wasn't even done yet. Still was clicking through. The next thing was Warhammer Darktide. Looking sick. This is a follow-up, total tonal shift, but follow-up to the Vermintide series of games, which are essentially Left 4 Dead like games where you, as in a team of 4, are mowing down hordes of enemies. I actually never really got too into Vermintide. Were there like bosses and stuff, or how was that? How did that work?
It's almost like I would say like an RPG Left 4 Dead.
Nice.
So you basically, go through level fighting hordes and hordes of zombies, then you get to like a climax where you either fight a boss or you do like, a holdout until X things happen. So it's a blast. I can vouch for the Vermintide games, and Darktide looks like it's just the same, but better and in space. It has, the same like variety of characters that make it all fun. So yeah.
I love the mini game stuff here they show. There's been a resurgence of Left 4 Dead likes, and I've been interested in a decent amount of them, but like it feels like none of them hold me as much as I want them to. And like this being such a drastic shift of tone and style and aesthetic is and like even just gameplay style, right? Like they're a lot more melee focused. There's some of the ones that have come out are like barely even have melee involved, and just like
and that's the thing too, is like I didn't really touch on what I was talking about. It's like a Left 4 Dead RPG. Like, you can make like character builds in this. Like, every character has their own set of abilities, things you can switch out from weapons to just whatever their unique things are. And it's not just, oh, it's the same weapon, just a different skin for it. No, like they all have like unique weapons. Like, oh, you have a, say like the guy on the left there that has like the assault rifle looking thing. Like, oh, maybe he'll have another one where he's like a shotgun, or he'll have a strictly melee weapon that fits for his sort of gameplay style. And like they're all, the characters in Vermintide right now all like super unique and customizable in terms of gameplay and stats.
Yeah, this is. I always wanted to get into Vermintide, and then just like it felt like the moment
come
passed
play
me.
with me and Dave, bro.
Okay.
We love Vermintide.
Okay. It was one of those things where it just felt like the moment passed me by or something, and like everyone else had already played it, and just one of those weird things. But I'm interested. I'm deeply interested in this one. Then we had Spooky Time Adventure Zone Happiness. I don't know. What was that?
What was this one?
Layers of Fears.
Oh, yeah. The one that Keighley half spoiled.
I know, yeah. So this is the follow-up to the Layer of Fear series. It looks interesting. It looks like it's like just like with the name too, Layers of Fears. Like it feels like it might be little vignettes, horror vignettes, because it seems like they're such drastically different locations shown in this trailer, right? There's like a part where you're on like a boat. There's a lot of parts in the house, of course. There's like, that looks like a stage a little bit, like, so maybe, horror chronicle. So I feel like it might be like several shorter horror experiences that all link together through the house and the painter and everything else. I'm curious what you have played the layer of fear games. What's your? It's Unreal Engine 5. That's exciting.
Yeah, that's exciting. No, this is gonna be fantastic. Just because we talked about it while we were watching. Is like this team has crafted like their own perfect type of horror, where it's more like in the trailers, it's psychedelic and it's more psychological. And like we talked about like that anxiety, because where you're looking one way, you turn around, you're looking at something completely different that you just walked past. So it's definitely a fresh take that they've taken on horror, and but the previous games before this were fantastic. This is going to be probably, like you were saying, it's probably going to be smaller, like short stories instead of one long story, all connected by maybe one character or maybe just the house itself. But I'm gonna go on record and say it's gonna be the Mario 64 of horror.
Hopping into paintings.
Yeah.
Early 2023 is exciting. Again, it's interesting. Bloober is an interesting studio because they are also heavily linked to in big rumors that have been around for a long time. So that's usually my sign if a rumor is potentially true, is if it's been around for a while, and this one's been around for a while. They're also linked to a oh shit, is this real? They are also linked to a Silent Hill game.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes, Fern dropped 2 gifted subs. Thank you very much. I don't know if you were here, if you just missed it or what. But a friend of mine from the baseball world came in and dropped a follow, a sub, and then 10 gifted subs. So we're still kind of reeling from that. So we got 25. We started today, I think, with like 10 subs because we haven't been streaming, and we now have 25 subs today. Very exciting. Yeah. So I wasn't sure if you had noticed or not when you came in. Yeah. Nuts. Exciting times. We really got to keep streaming. Again, we'll be streaming all week, and so exciting. Let me see. Why they show you up like that? I know. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was. We were like in the middle of recap or something, and that happened, and I just needed to take a minute. What I was just freaking out. You might have heard me say, "Is this real?" I don't know if this is the official From Software account or not, but they said 8/8/24 and then tweeted this image, which I don't know if you can read. It says Armored Core. Armored Core coming 8/8/24? Bruh. It says Armored Core here. You can see this one. It's just like faded into it's like darkened. Okay. From Software didn't want to be shown up today. They said, hey, we have news. Check this out. I mean, it's quite an early announcement. 8/8/24. That's 2 years from now. 2+ years. Core. Yeah, 2+ years from now. They maybe just confirmed that Armored Core is coming back in 2 years. But interesting. Interesting little surprise announcement here. But yeah, Layers of Fears. Bloober tied to Silent Hill, potentially. I'm curious to see how far. Well, maybe this studio is being spread a little thin, though, too. Who knows? Next was... What was this one? Oh, Gotham Knights. It seems like they're going to be releasing some character highlight trailers. This one focusing in on Nightwing, showing off some customization for the character. Here, you'll see the switch. Oh! Wait, no. Not yet. I thought it was there. It's here. Showing off some customization where you can change the look of your Nightwing. So I'm sure that'll be reminiscent of... There it is. There's the switch. The Spider-Man PS4 game where it kind of honored a lot of this legacy of Spider-Man. I think they're going to do that here with Nightwing, Batgirl, Batwoman, and Robin.
It's up to me.
Super interested in this game. Curious how much replayability is in here. Like, is it the kind of thing where we're going to go in and do the same mission over and over again to grind out, currency or points with like maybe some modifiers to the challenges and stuff. I'm not against those kinds of games, but sometimes it can be a little draining, you know. I know you
Batman
were
is dead.
Batman is dead.
Yeah.
I know you were kind of mixed on it, but it's gonna be fun. I
Yeah,
know much.
I can't deny it that like even though it looks like a like we were talking about like a half step up from
The Arkham game.
from the Arkham games and a full step down from what the Suicide Squad game is going to be. It still looks fun just because you get to play with your friends. These types of games, they are a blast with friends. So even if it's just your little beat 'em up fluid combat, or what was the combat called? Is it just fluid combat?
I think there was like momentum combat.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah, something like that. That's gonna be fun just to do with friends because I'm sure there's gonna be like combos you can do with your friends, and the story I'm sure is gonna be fine for a DC thing. So that's all. That's fun with friends. That's all I'm gonna say about Gotham Knights before I bash on DC.
I think the other thing that was really intriguing to me about this game when it was first revealed was like the concept of like, a lot of these games are super stealthy, right? So I remember when they showed it, they did the kind of classic, fake two people playing it together thing. And the idea of like going in and like, okay, I got this guy on the left, you got that guy on the right. Okay, ready, 1, 2, 3. Like coordinating the Batman experience with friends, and that's just a really cool concept to me too. Okay, what's next? That's right. This is the ending. Okay, so the rest is the Day of the Devs, which we still also have to cover, but the Naughty Dog ending 10-minute segment, which is kind of a weird flat way to end it all, especially since the thing they eventually revealed was something that was already leaked, which was the Last of Us 1 remake? Quotation marks? Question mark? I don't know. But they showed a piece of concept art for the Last of Us multiplayer. And so I said earlier I was going to talk a little bit about my experience for the first game's multiplayer. So the first game's multiplayer was already unique, right? Because it was heavily, it's not like it's just a Twitch shooter, rapid, chaos action shooter. It's heavily inspired by the main game's gameplay style, which is stealthy, a little more brutal, a little hard, like easier to kill. It was all about crafting, actually. When you got into the world, you like would find, duct tape and rat and cloth and like scrap, and you could, create the little bombs and stuff and Molotov cocktails that, you are familiar with from the game. And you would, use those, ramshackle tools, and you have limited ammo too. So it was very inspired by and reminiscent of the original of the core game. So that alone was like a fairly unique, multiplayer shooter experience. It was more slow. It was more methodical. You really had to be careful. But then it also had this interesting thing with which, I don't know if it only happened if you linked your Facebook, but you could link your Facebook to the game, which was really interesting. And it would show you, the multiplayer was surrounded this like idea of you were going out with a group of people to bring resources back to your base. And so while you were doing these matches, you could pick up resources of like food, medicine, and all kinds of stuff. And you could bring it back to your colony. And so when you linked Facebook, your colony was now populated by your Facebook friend list. So it would be like things like, so Rinks is in my family, and it would be like, Rinks is sick. You need to bring medicine back or they will die. And so in the mission, I had to go out and like make sure I got that stuff, or I would see someone in my family die, and it was like super interesting and intense. And so they said this multiplayer, so they're making it a standalone game. They said it was going to have like a branching narrative and all kinds of stuff. So I'm curious if that's part of it, if that's going to be a key part of it. Like, maybe you have to go out and get resources to build different like things in a hub zone that you take care of. And no one else can, I know with the Facebook thing, no one else could see your stuff. Like no one else could see your colony's stuff. So it was more on the. It was like I think it was literally just it would just change what would normally be a generic name to your friends' names and stuff. But I'm curious to see. I don't think they're gonna do that with this one. That was just the example to make it, a little more impactful for you. I think in the moment. If anything, I think they'll give these characters names and stuff, and like you'll be able to, you could lose a character and they'll be dead for good, and you'll like have to deal with the ramifications of that. Another thing that's really interesting about this is how big this looks. Like I'm curious, maybe this is how it's like almost like a battle royale-esque, like maybe it's a battle royale. They didn't say yes or no on that, because like look at this, like this looks like a dust storm, right, Oscar? Is that what?
Yeah,
like it's like
we have those every other day
in San Francisco.
Yeah,
it's like pinning you in a little bit. So that'd be, that'd be interesting if it was like a freaking battle royale, because it looks, the scale here they're selling is huge, right? Like this is multi-level, interior and exterior. That was the other thing. There were still the zombies from Last of Us were also in play on the field. So it's just such a unique multiplayer experience that people have been dying to see again. And again, lean into that feeling of like, yeah, I'm trying to win the match of, death match or whatever it is, but I'm also out here scavenging for my people and trying to bring that back to my colony so that our colony survives. It was an interesting and different take on the regular multiplayer shooter. And knowing Naughty Dog, this is going to be at the very least high polish, high quality, and the fact that it's standalone, I think they don't take that lightly. They're not going to just like rush something out. They're going to really work to make it look really good and play really well. So I'm curious what it's going to end up like, hearing that and remembering what we watched from the thing. What's your excitement level for multiplayer Last of Us?
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the original Last of Us multiplayer, just because it was, like you were saying, like that whole stealthy and more brutal and more, kind of impactful type of multiplayer, where it wasn't just, just spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn. It was more
right.
It seemed a little heavier than that, so I'm excited for it. Even if it does turn out to be a BR, with that sort of gameplay, if it's PvPvE as it's shaping out to be, it could be something wonderful that Naughty Dog's coming up with. Being that I have no real skin in the game in terms of like the story, in terms of the characters, I am just coming at it as perspective of the gameplay just by itself.
Yeah, I'm curious. Again, like if it's a BR, I want that. Maybe that's an easy way to do it, where it's like, because you you only have one guy and you have one life, versus like in a team deathmatch, you just come back and come back and come back. But if you're doing like a battle royale and you die, and it's like, yeah, that person's dead now. That person does not come back to the colony. The colony now has to move on without him, and like that kind of aspect of like, oh shit, like, and maybe you level up these guys individually, like, so, oh, this guy's I've sent him out on a bunch of, missions and battle royales, and I've won a bunch of times, but oh fuck, if I lose him now, that's gonna hurt the colony so much, and this is all speculative at this point, but the concept is already appealing enough,
Yeah, and it's definitely, I don't know if you've heard or played a game called Hunt Showdown.
Oh yeah.
Basically the same concept lies there as well. As like you have one character with one life, and as you survive and as you complete these missions, and gain experience stuff, they get stronger and stronger and stronger. But all that could change in an instant. Like one bullet could take you out, and no matter how strong you are, and that character's gone. So you have to start, back from scratch. So having that in a game, like The Last of Us multiplayer might be great, just to, add that layer of shit, I don't want to die. I may not take a fight with someone because, I don't have the resources to take this fight, instead of, just being like, oh, whatever, it's just a video game, blah, 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 let's go shoot and die. If we die, whatever.
You know, it's actually, you know, as I'm describing it, I'm realizing it's reminiscent of a multiplayer game that is out. It's one that I don't play because it's scary to me, but it's one that you play. It kind of sounds
Tarkov.
like Tarkov, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. That's why it resonates with me. It's because it has that, that heavy, your choices matter in terms of your gameplay.
yeah, that's interesting, and that would make sense, right? Because everyone got super into Tarkov, and so like I could see Naughty Dog seeing that, recognizing what they'd already done with their previous games, and saying, you know, let's get out there and copy that essentially, you know, it's,
Yeah.
you know, with our sensibilities and our style. Interesting. Tarkov being a cornerstone of this game potentially.
Which is exciting.
Yeah. So that was, you know, a long way to talk about one image for a long time. Yeah, you can see there was mostly zombies in that shot, but there's some humans down here, and again, the scale is super interesting to me here. And so, yeah, even that, yeah, man, Tarkov might be the cornerstone because, like, just the idea of going into a zone, you know, there's dangers out there, but you're just kind of gathering resources and trying to get out, you know, versus, you know, a traditional battle royale experience. But maybe, you know, just like in Tarkov, you're gonna risk running into other human players and killing them so you can take their loot, you know, and all that stuff. Like, man, fascinating. Maybe I gotta play Tarkov.
What's funny is that Tarkov just announced their arena mode, which is going to be basically like a deathmatch, just with the gameplay of Tarkov.
Oh, interesting. So they're switching.
Yeah, everyone's just kind of picking at each other at this point.
The next part of the Last of Us segment was just pretty much this, which is a photo of the show. I think somewhere online, they were already joking on stage about like, oh, if someone leaks this, you know, I think someone, they're saying, may have leaked that the show will premiere in February of next year. So that's not too far off. If true. There's this one photo. This is a photo from the episode that Neil Druckmann, one of the creative directors at Naughty Dog and of Last of Us 1 and 2, he directed this episode apparently. They're all talking about how accurate it is, how true to the story, even with changes and even with new storylines and stuff, how true it is, and how impactful it is, and how these two are just so good. They also revealed that they showed two cast members from the show. Oh, look at that. It's Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson, the original Joel and Ellie. They will be part of the show as two new characters. They didn't reveal anything about those characters or anything like that, but that's a cute way. It's not, and they said it's not just a cute wink and a nod type of cameo. It's like they are full-fledged characters in the story.
Yeah, it's a multiverse situation. They're going to be Joel and Ellie again, but just from a different
they're
universe.
going to open a portal and they're going to walk out and they're like, hey, welcome. Yeah, I mean, you know, we're always talking about new shows we're watching and everything. I genuinely think this is going to be so good. It's the kind of game, you know, that I played for my family and for people, you know, in front of them, just to experience the story. And it was so cinematic that it was like watching a movie or a show. So like it just makes sense as a show. And I think it's the kind of show that it could still have just as much impact, even outside of the interactive stuff, especially changing some stuff up, showing some more context for maybe some of the other characters and you know, other survivors and stuff. Yeah, I don't know what's your hype level for the Last of Us show?
Honestly pretty high. I enjoy the story of Last of Us 1. I haven't dove too far into the Last of Us 2 story, but Naughty Dog is great at making, you know, world building and storytelling. So I'm excited for it, just because it allows me to enjoy The Last of Us without, you know, currently owning a Sony system. So,
Right? Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal, fantastic person.
Oh yeah.
Troy Baker, fantastic person. So yeah, it's thumbs up for me.
Hell yeah, brother. And then the final thing they had to show which they were all complaining about had leaked, is on September 2nd. We are getting the previously discussed and rumored Last of Us One remake, quote unquote. It's hard to tell. I think they showed a lot of cutscenes, and that's what's underselling it here. I've seen some other photos online of gameplay sequences that look drastically different from the original game. It looks like vegetation is going to be a huge thing that they change. Because these shots of vegetation are amazing, so much better than the original. And when you do see the side-by-side photos, it does look drastically improved. I said drastically like 10 times in that spiel. The one thing that is hurting some people's feelings right now, and understandably, I did not mean to make that sound so demeaning, is that it is $70. For a game that's, super. I mean, I think it's 10 years old now, right? I think the original came out in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So for a 10-year-old game, and again, a lot of people are getting the feeling that it's not drastically, I can't get rid of this word, improved graphically. But again, I think there are things that we're not seeing right now, because those were all cutscenes. Yeah, so that was look how different, this is closer. This is more like the fidelity of The Last of Us 2 right here. This is more like what we got from The Last of Us 2. So it is different. I think it's just what they chose to show in the trailer doesn't really showcase that in a weird way. Yeah, no, we're not saying that. Very just night and day, really, to me, with this photo. It's a completely overhauled character model.
Joel looks 20 years older.
I know, yeah,
second photo.
Yeah. So it is a little more than we might have expected at first glance. And even looks like they changed the camera shots, right? They're doing the split screen, and it's supposed to be the same scene, and it looks, clearly the perspective has changed here a bit. So it does. I don't know that I'd go all the way to remake, right? But it is almost a reimagining. And then the other thing that they really emphasize is it has the, I think, Rinks, he totally was. He was supposed to be in his 40s or something. Or late 30s. But yeah, the combat and the AI and everything is from Last of Us 2, which I think is a thing that's not talked about enough, is how great the gameplay and the combat and the stealth and the animation, the bespoke animations as you're crawling through the bushes and walking around, and it's all so high quality in Last of Us 2. So the fact that we're bringing in all that stuff into The Last of Us 1 is interesting. I still don't know that it's $70 worth $70, maybe 50. Maybe 60, you can argue. But going all the way up to the new high water mark for games at $70 seems a bit much. But maybe there's some, it does come with the, I take that back. Maybe it does make sense, because it has the DLC as well, which was an extra, bit of money at back in the day. I don't know. It's a complicated discussion about what games are worth and, all that other stuff, But I don't know. I'm probably going to play it. As when we were watching it, I said I hadn't really played the original since I first played it all those years ago, 10 years ago. So I'm curious to hop back in. And I guess as I pivot to you, someone who's played it, you've played a decent chunk of it, and you've seen it for sure, either watching me or whatever, you've seen that story, but now you really have a chance to really get in and get in deep, because they also confirmed it's coming to PC. So what is your hype level for Last of Us 1 remake ?
Last of Us Part 1 remastered remake reimagined? No, it's through the roof, just because I finally get a chance to finally, really sink my teeth into the story, especially now that even though it's 10 years old, it's still, a very, very, very good story told by Naughty Dog, and being able to play it on PC, the comfort of my, preferred system, is exciting, and it's very very nice of Naughty Dog to think of, other platforms aside from Sony.
Yeah, PlayStation has really opened up the gates a little bit on that over the last few years. So I wouldn't be surprised if a year from now at Summer Game Fest they're showing the PC release for Last of Us 2. It's, they're really opening up and sharing. At the State of Play, which we didn't live stream. One of the big things they showcased there was Spider-Man coming to PC. So. Lots of fun PlayStation games coming to PC. Oh, it just occurred to me again when the same thing happened when I was playing or when we watched the Spider-Man thing. Steam Deck Last of Us. Here we go. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
And then that was the end of the Summer Game Fest. Again, such a weird, abrupt ending because that leaked ahead of time and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, this is where I will take my leave, though. So I have to get dinner.
All right. You know what? I might actually, there's going to be write-ups on the site, and I actually need to get going on those. So I might actually wrap up here as well on the stream side. I'll let you say goodbye first so you can get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for having me.
Of course.
I will most likely be here tomorrow as well if things are happening. Mm-hmm. Follow me on Twitch. Say hi to me. I'm here.
Let's get the shout out going. Yeah, I will let you know how much of everything we're doing tomorrow and what we're doing tomorrow.
If chat wants me here, I will be here.
Oh, they want you here.
Give my hot takes on games I've never played before.
We might even be able to sneak in a Fern tomorrow, so we'll see.
Ooh. What we got to do at the end of is we gotta stream some of the demos that came out.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for having me. I will see you tomorrow. See everyone tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm your biggest fan, Fish. You better be back. I will. Thank you.
You better come back and tomorrow you better do 10 gift subs. So.
Oh, come back. Give us Fern and Fishy. Thank you. All right. I will see you guys later. Thank you.
Bye. Chat. Just us now. It's just us. You like me? I'll do a quick run through because I think most of the people that are here now. Oh, continuing the gift sub. Wait, so that means you just subbed you added a month and you haven't even. Oh, J-roll. We love you for it. We'll do a quick rundown of everything because it was all great stuff. But we are coming up on 6 hours of stream. And that sounds like a nice 3 months. J-roll. My activity feed is not updating. We love you for that. I just want to, before we continue our wrap up here, just want to thank everybody. This has been a great first stream back in literal months. And it's super, again, I just love covering these events. I love watching these things with a bunch of people. And I'm so happy y'all chose to do that here with me. I know a lot of you are, not necessarily doing this. You necessarily watch and do this stuff regularly. So just the fact that you're here at all is exciting and fun and nice. And I love you all.